everybody? Love, Death, and Robots is back with its third volume, and it was pretty good, if I'm not gonna lie. I still think Volume 1 of Love, Death, and Robots is my favorite volume of all time, but this one was pretty solid. I had this weird misconception in my head that each episode of Love, Death, and Robots was longer from the previous volumes, but it's not. Like, some of them are like 20 plus minutes, most of them are fairly short though, like 10 to 7 minutes some cases. I don't know why I thought they were longer. It's been a while since I've seen volumes 1 and 2 though, so maybe that played into it. But speaking of this volume specifically, all of the shorts in this were pretty good. They had some returning teams coming back to make some other projects. I know that the teams that made 3 Robots made a sequel to 3 Robots, which was pretty funny, and then the team that made The Witness from Volume 1 also came back and made Jibaro, which is probably my favorite one, at least from a directorial cinematography standpoint, I would say. Because the one I enjoyed most was not Jibaro, but the one that I think is probably the objective best is Jibaro. It's a very interesting, dark, and twisted story, much like Witness was, but this one just really hooked me. And before I saw the credits at the end, I was thinking to myself, you know, this really reminds me of Witness from Volume 1, and then I got to the credits and was like, this is the team, and I was like, oh, okay, well, that makes perfect sense now. I'm not crazy. A couple of them that I didn't particularly like were Swarm and Vaulted Halls Entombed. I particularly didn't care for those two. You know, I could see people getting some appeal from them, but the stories that they told weren't all that interesting to me. I feel like in Vaulted Halls Entombed was just a typical story about soldiers dealing with like a supernatural thing, and it ended interestingly, but it just didn't do anything that truly hooked me and made me care about it. And Swarm was a unique sci-fi story, but it just didn't do anything. There just wasn't anything that happened for me that made me care about it. I didn't care about the characters in it, so when they got into turmoil, I didn't really care what happened to the animation, direction, and everything about it. The voice acting for all of the shorts are spectacular, so I'm not knocking those two. It's just the stories personally didn't really hook me. Especially with Vaulted Tombs, because there is another short in Volume 3 called Kill Team Kill, which I think was fantastic. Probably is my favorite animation in all of the shorts from Volume 3. That one is awesome. It is just a bunch of military dudes fighting a crazy cyborg bear. That's it. Very short, very sweet, very simple. You get to the point. It's very action-packed. It's super fun. I loved it. It's definitely one of my favorite ones. It's either my top 3, top 4. Because I know Jibaro was definitely my number 1 of like the best that was in this one. Number 2 is probably Mason's Rats. I really did like that. It had a very sweet ending. 3 is definitely Night of the Mini Dead. Night of the Mini Dead was really cool with that. It's like a nice little short about what would happen if a zombie apocalypse broke out. And they're all like miniature figures running around causing a zombie apocalypse, like a speed run, and I loved it. It was so adorable for the carnage that was happening. Hey, I have a dark soul. Don't judge me for it. But yeah, Volume 3 of Love, Death, and Robots was really good. I'm happy they did bring back some of the previous teams that worked on it, because I did enjoy the sequel to 3 Robots. It had a lot of jokes and commentary on the current world affair, and I found it hilarious. If you know anything, like the smallest bit of knowledge about how the world operates nowadays, I think you will really love this story. It just takes pot shots at just about every horrible thing that's going on in the world, and I loved it. It was hilarious. I just love the way those 3 bounce off of each other. It's fantastic. But yeah, honestly, I think that's really about it. There isn't really much to say about Love, Death, and Robots Volume 3, because it's an anthology series. You know, each thing's made by a different team, you know, different actors, different story. There's no cohesion for me to like pick apart the story for everything. But I guess one praise I will say, I am happy that with this, it's a progression in animation, because a lot of people don't take animation very seriously, but in the past few years we've had animation start to grow into a better medium with things like Invincible and Arcane, Love, Death, and Robots, Star Wars Visions, Diabolical, so on and so forth. So I'm glad that adult animation is moving forward, and that animation as a whole, as a medium, is being taken more seriously instead of just like cartoons or things for kids. I don't get it. Why are you an adult talking about cartoons? They should be shut up. So I'm glad that we're moving in a direction where animation as a whole is being given respect. It's not there yet, still not held to the same regard as films, even though they should be, as live action films, I should say, they should be held in the same regard. They take just as much effort, or maybe even more, but that's a conversation for another day. But yeah, those are my thoughts on Love, Death, and Robots Volume 3. I thought it was great, and I think you'll probably enjoy it as well. Like I said earlier, Volume 1 is still definitely my favorite volume of all time. I remember vividly loving that all the way through, but that does not mean this volume is bad. So let me know what your favorite volume as a whole in Love, Death, and Robots was, and what your favorite Love, Death, and Robots episode was as a whole from all 3 volumes now that are out. That being said, I'm the Innocent Villain. Remember, folks, you're innocent until proven villainous, and I'll catch you in the next one.